So before we get into the three things a little bit more detail, I wanted to go through a couple of things that really haven't changed. Number one, content is still king. So there's a little trick to this. A lot of people think that if you just log into your website and change up your homepage, every month or every couple of weeks, that Google is going to reward you and rank you higher because of that activity. Not necessarily the case. What would be better is if every time Google came to index your site, it was bigger and it was better and there was more content and more things for them to consume, and you were answering more questions and providing more value. That is really the trick to content. Every time they come back, there's more things for them to index and potentially rank overall. Plus, it establishes your authority. It establishes you as a subject matter expert on this particular thing. Mobile responsiveness, also a big thing. I don't think this is nearly the case it was even 2 years ago, where a lot of businesses still didn't have mobile-friendly websites. And by responsiveness, what it means is when you have a device, your website looks one way like this. If I turn the screen this way, it responds to the change in size of the screen and it shows the important items. No matter what size the screen is and no matter the orientation of the screen, it responds to that and shows you the important things that you need. Another thing here, little bonus tip on mobile, on your mobile version of your website, and really on your desktop too, but more on mobile, you should make sure your phone number is in the top right or at the top of the page, and that it is click to call, so that when somebody pulls up your website, they can just click on the phone number and that dumps that into the phone app on your device so that they can call you straight from there. A lot of times they'll have the phone number listed on a website, but it is not click to call. So you can't click on it and dial it. You have to copy it or switch back and forth between screens to figure out the phone number, that kind of stuff. So don't make getting a lead difficult. It's super easy to do click to call. So make sure you're doing that as well. I kind of mentioned this already. Pay-per-click is expensive and not a smart main strategy. It should be part of a strategy, but not the main part. Inventory is going down in pay-per-click, which drives prices up. It's not the best scenario for a business owner. One other thing that hasn't changed is you can't spam or trick Google. Now, years and years ago, people would do things like putting white font keywords on a white background, and they thought they were tricking Google, right? Because Google can't see it, but you've shoved all these keywords in the back end of the site or something like that. Google's really smart about that kind of stuff. There's really no way to trick them. The other thing with this particular picture is Google has started to, they rolled out a couple of years ago something called their knowledge graph. And the knowledge graph is just what this looks like. It understands relationships of words. So in this case, you could actually write an article about the Eiffel Tower and potentially rank for terms related to the Mona Lisa, or something like that. They understand that those are geographically close to each other, that they have relevance in both of those areas. So they understand how words work together. The other example I always use is spaghetti. If you're writing a blog about spaghetti, they expect to see words like meatball and pasta and fork and sauce and Parmesan, right? So they understand how all of these different things work together. So there's really no way to try to trick Google to, stick a particular keyword in a lot of places thinking that'll just get you to the top easier. Definitely not the case anymore.